anyone. I'm quite a bit later than I originally planned. That's okay. Gonna finish a couple little last minute things here, get a tweet sent out, all that good normal beginning of stream stuff. Tweet, and then let's also do a Discord, as I said I would. Yeah, sent that, and it's still not. I can't figure out why. I thought it was because I wasn't including a www. I can't figure out why Discord is not liking the link to my channel that I have been including in the announcement. I will have to play with that a little bit more. Hey, Music Gal. Well, you write reports. That sounds like it's probably not fun. Sounds like work and adulting. Let's actually... Did I charge this last time? Let's stick this battery in the charger. While we're finishing getting ready here. I thought I might as well just get the stream started, because it'll get people a chance to see their notifications and join. Progress reports are a little fun. Well, that is true, because seeing progress like in a really what I want to say, like a visual broken down, like started here and now we're here, that is very satisfying, I think. What do I want to do here first? I think we're going to put this to the side. I was going to do this first, but maybe it actually makes more sense to do this once my nails are drying. All these things I intended to do before stream, but the first thing we need to do before we get going here, we're a little bit crooked. Let's scoot the mat. There, that's a little bit more centered. And do I have... yes, let's turn off the auto white balance so that my hands aren't changing color all stream. Preston! Thank you for the bits. Hello. And hello, Black Sun. I've got just a clear coat on my nails right now, so you can kind of tell from the wet look. I just finished washing my hair, and I try to always keep my nails painted when I do that so they don't get all waterlogged. Chat isn't showing up on stream. Okay, that is a problem. Let's see if I can fix it. This should be interesting. Okay. My URL is still there. Let's, shit. Okay, let's look in Streamlabs and see if I can... Thank you for letting me know, Muscal, by the way. Where... God, I, haven't touched this since I set it up in the first place. Okay, widgets. Chat box. What can I do to... Okay, let's cancel this. This is kind of interesting because this is the let's just try refreshing and test. No. Still not showing. What the hell, Streamlabs? This is a time when I wish one of my more experienced streamer friends was watching. But, what if I do this? I mean, everything is the same as usually, as it usually is. And it's interesting because my bits alerts are obviously still working, so it's not something with, it's not like Streamlabs is having an issue. Why? I've heard people talk about, like, rebooting the chatbot. Wait, can I, if I just do, of course, let's, we could do this. So if I do this, yeah, it is super weird. Okay, test. No. Okay, maybe it is something weird with Streamlabs, because even if I open it up in the browser window one, it's not showing. This is irritating. Let's try this. Okay, hold on. Still looking at things. Well, where do I even click that, Streamlabs? Where is this? Fix broken widget. Yes, that's what I'd like to do. Yeah, I'm already doing all that. Okay, let's try log out and log back in. I mean, this would be super great if this just worked this easily. Okay. Oops, I was supposed to be in again. I don't know. Let's just, I'm just checking that it's not like an OBS thing. No, it's not an OBS thing because my other scene also doesn't have it. Streamlabs, you are fucking failing me. Coney, hello. Coney, you stream. Coney, why would my chat not show up? Why is chat giving me attitude? I'm like, I see a couple things, but they're all like super old. Super old issues. You doubt your internet at work will cooperate. Oh, well, you know, usually I have the chat on the side underneath the cat cam. And I mean, I have a regular Twitch chat window open. But, this is just pretty weird. Well, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna not worry about it right now. We're gonna do, we're gonna do a window capture of this. We're gonna capture, this. Okay, and we're gonna stick it well, let's we can crop this part out and we'll make you a little bit narrower. Actually, we can crop this part out too. You guys don't need to see that. And yeah, I want you there. Let me turn off my timestamps. That'll clean it up a little bit. I want to fix it, but I also don't want to spend like half an hour fucking around with it. So I think that's maybe a little bit small, but hopefully it's legible. And that's just gonna be our workaround for today. Thanks a lot, Streamlabs. No, I really like Streamlabs. This is like the first problem I've had with it. It's just kind of frustrating because it's like, I mean, I streamed last night and it was perfectly fine. So, it's just kind of mysterious. I need to just, sorry guys. I've got my new air conditioner in the window, and it actually is super great and almost too powerful. I mean, I don't want to say too powerful, but the fan, if I have it like, it's got like the angly things. If I have it angled right toward me, I can really feel it sitting here at my desk. Caters, hello. When Streamlabs explodes, I usually grab the link again and launch it on purpose. Yeah, I clicked the launch, and I re-grabbed the link just in case I had like accidentally something, and it still didn't. I'm gonna have to mess around with it after stream. I mean, hopefully I won't forget that I need to mess around with it since I've like got this. I mean, it's actually a pretty good workaround as far as workaround goes. Gets the job done at least. What I was saying before we had our miniature disaster, I can't call that a disaster. That would be kind of dramatic. Is that I washed my hair, so I've got I usually do just like a base coat and a top coat, a regular real base coat and a top coat, which is pretty easy to quickly remove with a little bit of polish remover, and then we'll get going. When we were doing the nail foil strips, just completely on a viewer request, somebody said, hey, can that work with yellow stopper? And I said, let's give it a try. And the results were so good that I actually want to do a full manicure using yellow stopper as my foil glue adhesive. Deleted it and get a new link. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll have to do, Coney. It's mysterious because, like I said, everything else is still working. My alerts are working. Which, thank you again, Preston, because I wouldn't know that I would be like paranoid of my regular alerts working if I hadn't seen his just come through. But I mean, literally, well, I was going to say less than 12 hours ago, but it was a little bit more than that. I stopped streaming at about midnight last night. Had a really awesome Hollow Knight stream last night. And chat was working just fine for that. And now, I mean, that's like not even on my list of things to check. What, of course, saying that reminds me. Okay. On my list of things to check is to make sure that Moobot is in chat, because Moobot sometimes is an asshole and decides to leave. I know, Coney, because, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people really don't care about alerts, and some people don't even want to, you know, be seen on alerts. It's always kind of interesting a lot of times, like, right immediately after stream, I'll see in regular Streamlabs that I get a couple followers, like, right after stream, that they've obviously waited so that they did not show up on screen with the alert. But, you know, I like to have that little additional recognition for people. Moobot has very limited duties, but there were a couple things that were a lot easier to set up under Moobot than under Nightbot. Moobot has the uptime command. Moobot has the shout-out command. And I feel like I have one other thing enabled through Moobot, but the vast majority of all my commands are through Nightbot because it was just a lot easier. Plus, maybe there's a limit, but I haven't reached it yet, and I've got a crap load of commands. And on Moobot, you have what I would consider a very restrictive, limited number of commands to use. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember now. Moobot's in one of these tabs I have up, but... And, I mean, if you wanted to do more customization stuff, like Moobot lets you customize your bot name. I think Nightbot, does Nightbot allow that? I'm not sure it does. But I decided to just skip that. I've seen... Oh, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the tip of my nail. I forgot I had a patch on there. And I basically just made the patch fail. So, now the decision is down to replacing the patch or trimming the nail. Yeah, Nightbot does have an uptime command, but it was more complicated to set up. And the shoutout command was too. Shoutout command is actually a Moobot default, so it doesn't even take up one of your slots. Shit, you guys. I mean, I'm not like furious because, well, number one, because it's my right hand. My left hand is still just fine, but I mean, fuck. Okay, so that's two things. Are we waiting for the third shoe to drop? They always say things come in threes. I think I'm gonna patch it. Hold on just a sec. Okay. So, patching used to be an ordeal. Like, seriously, an ordeal. Now, we've got lightless gel. We have gel cure spray. And we have a little old bottle of Seche Vite filled with acetone. We've got our broken piece, which, like, did not get all of its polish removed. It's not a big deal. Just cleaning that little bit of a flake off. And we've got our regular nail. Regular nail. Our nail that's still attached to the finger. I have a lot of commands you don't know how they work. You mean you don't know what they're for, or you can't tell how they work because the public command list just shows a bunch of weird things. Some of the stuff is just like aliases. So you're supposed to put in like I forget even what it is. Some kind of thing with a dollar sign and query something. And will make the alias work even if there's a like username or something in it. So like there's a Manny command and then the alias for that is nails. And then I've got a few commands that are just set up with like different options. So like my dead command actually is set up kind of like how most people set up their quote command, so that when I'm playing video games and I die and the dead command gets used, there's like 2 or 3 different options that may pop up. And I'm cleaning the little nail bit with acetone so we can stick it on here. Let's get a tweezer. Where's my smaller tweezer? Where? What the heck? Oh, there it is. I'm absolutely not that pro either. What I do is, if I see a command that I like, or if I think of something, I'm like, well, that must be possible. I'll just, I'll Google it until I find instructions. And, then I'll try and follow the instructions and hope they work. And usually, you can find, like, a pretty simple walkthrough. And I can usually understand enough to at least, like, do it. I might not remember how I did it 2-3 days later. But, usually I can make it work. And we've still got some gel left from the previous patch. I'm not going to try and soak all that off, because I ain't got time for that. This was supposed to be a short, to-the-point stream. So much for that. So you want to make sure that your nail... Actually, let's get in closer here, you guys. Okay. So you want to make sure that your nail is clean, that you don't leave any little Q-tip cotton shreds behind. And it's a little bit more difficult when it's fully broken off like this. This side right here is where it was attached. It was like a very thin attachment when I patched it last time. And I have like a full-on tutorial on patching and such, but I haven't actually had the opportunity to do it on stream before, because when I initially broke this, it was like right after I woke up. So we've got our empty, well, it's not empty now, it was an empty bottle of Seche Vite. It's filled up with acetone. That keeps the brush that you use from getting real stiff and hard as it gets gel built up on it. And I've got the ASP lightless gel. I've got it open now. I've got a little small napkin here. And I'm just going to take the brush out of the acetone, wipe off the excess acetone, and kind of pinch it so that it's like a little flatter. Take a little small drop of the gel. Like you can see, that's not a ton. And in this case, I'm going to just apply it right on the edge of the break here. Like right where we're intending to stick that little piece. Like so. Stick that back in there. Now this is like a really small piece. Like you look at this and you would think, oh, you might not even notice that's missing from your nail. But like, it's obvious to me. So what I want to do, pick it up with the tweezers. I mean, you could use your fingers, but with a piece this small, tweezers are much easier. And just like line it up where it's supposed to go. Like you'll be able to see and tell. Sorry guys, I gotta do this off camera. I gotta get it like really close to my face, so I can actually see where I'm trying to line it up. and stick it in that gel. And the gel won't actually completely harden until you cure it, but it should be enough to stick it like that. So now I'm going to take the cure spray and when I nudged it and it got out of place. You want to make sure that it's right where you want it before you spray it. Okay. So I've got it like that. Off to the side here, like away from my face, away from the cat if he's in the room. Just like spray the cure, top and the underside of the nail, and then give it a minute to set and cure. Yeah. You would just file them, Coney. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to, but I'm really liking my nails at this length, and the design that I'm having in mind to do today is like somewhat of a French tip design. Like I'm concentrating the hollow at the tip of the nail is the plan, kind of like almost sort of like a jagged waterfall-y effect with the foil. So I don't want to lose my length at the moment. So like the cure spray is supposed to cure it within about 60 seconds. So yeah, you can see now. Oh, let me get this. It's a little bit easier to see than my finger. Like as I touch this with the tweezer, it's no longer loose. The gel is already cured. So, I mean, you could stop there, but to give it a little bit more reinforcement, I'm going to get the brush again, get a little bit more gel, more than I used the first time, because I'm actually going to be doing a layer now, not just sticking the tip back on, and completely cover over the break. And pay particular attention like on the side of the nail where the break is and on the tip of the nail. And I'm also going to go on the underside of the nail and coat the break there. Like that. I try to make sure to keep it as smooth as possible, and especially like where the gel goes to the nail bed, like make it a smooth transition to minimize the amount of filing that needs to get done. And then again, I'm going to hit it with the cure spray, top, and since I did the bottom, the underside of the nail. And give it another minute to cure. You would repair natural nails that look that good. Thank you. No, I very rarely use silk patches, Black Sun. And the reason for that is it takes longer, and I don't generally notice an appreciable difference. If I had the thing that makes me go for a silk patch is if I get a break that's really like, if this break, instead of being like halfway into the free edge, had been right where the nail bed ends, I might use a patch just to give it a little bit of extra like staying power. But X Creations is hosting me for up to 3 viewers, and I take back what I said about Streamlabs not being broken, because nothing popped up on screen for that. But thank you, X Creations. We're having some Streamlabs problems today, but we are pushing through them. That is so at work. Hope I'm having a good stream. I'm actually having a frustrating stream, X Creations, because my Streamlabs chat wasn't working. Then I broke a nail, and now my Streamlabs notifications are not working. Sometimes AutoHost don't show up, but it's not an AutoHost, Coney. I don't think, because he's here. Yeah, X Creation. So since my Streamlabs chat broke, I'm doing a window capture of like my regular Twitch chat, and I had one notification of bits with a working notification, and then now my host notification is not showing up. That almost makes me feel better, though, because if Streamlabs is just having a bad day, that means I didn't accidentally do something bad. So, has it been a minute? Yeah. So this is dry now. It looks very shiny, like it's still wet, but it is actually dry. And let's see over here. Yeah, we'll use this one. I usually use a buffer, just a little bit. Like you can see, I don't have like a huge, it's kind of hard to show on camera, like a huge ridge where the transition from the gel to the nail is. But there is a little bit of, like a little bit of a transition. And also, like it's so shiny, it's almost like too shiny. So I'll go with the blue edge, and I'm trying to stay just on the patched section. And a little bit at the tip too, because it wasn't completely straightly lined up. So make sure that my tip is straight. Give it a little bit of buffing with the blue, and then go to the pink side and buff a little bit with that. Again, trying to stay mainly on the patch. So you can see now it's much duller. And then with a Q-tip, just kind of finish it off. Like that little bit of gel dust almost seems to melt back in there when you use a little bit of remover. And our nail is fixed. My nail is fixed. I don't know if that's a nasty habit or just a weird habit of saying our the whole time when really I'm talking about my nails. Set it and forget it. It will probably still be okay. Yeah. I've only got 1 million. Yeah, I have like 700 and something vids on YouTube right now. Wait, this would have deserved a YouTube tutorial. I do have a YouTube tutorial. I'm sorry. I'm like, since I made it narrow enough to window capture, it's like going off screen. I usually make it like wider so that most comments are just like one line. If you want to see the one like this, the gel only repair is actually not that long ago. But if you go on my channel and search either nail repair or go on the playlist section and go in the tips and tricks playlist, that's where you will find the nail repair videos. And I have several of them. I have like my old original ones using like the other kind of gel and silk wraps. I have some newer ones with this. I have one that's like completely recreating a nail tip just with patching products, so just with this gel and like a silk wrap. And I haven't had a lot of breaks lately, but I mean, as you can see, I keep it right at hand because at some point or another it will happen, because as we've discussed, I'm a klutz. Yeah, you guys do give me moral support and emotional backup. Okay, so that's done. Let's get our camera set up here. Yeah, and I think one of the things that's actually on my wanting to do list is trying it with like a gel top coat instead of with the asp gel and the cure spray. Just do like a gel top coat and then do it in the lamp, because I think it would end up pretty similar, and might even wear a little bit longer, because okay, so there's lots of different kinds of gel, but gel polish is pretty dang sturdy. So dang it, I have bottles falling over all over the place. We are going to be recording a tutorial today. I'm going to try and do a good tutorial. I don't want to say the last tutorial was a bad tutorial, because I've gotten a lot of good feedback on it. But I was watching it and I was like, shit, I didn't include this information in the tutorial. I didn't include this information in the tutorial. because I was like chatting about it during the stream, and then I forgot to actually include it in a section that I recorded for the tutorial. Yes, with a tea bag will work just as well as a silk wrap. I like the silk wraps that I use because they're self-adhesive, so it helps a little bit to keep them in place, but a tea bag will definitely work. I've never used it myself, but I feel confident in saying it'll definitely work. Actually, longer than the gel glue. That's good to know, but this isn't the gel glue. Because like the gel glue I used to use, it was this brand, but it was actually the gel of this brand. It was a gel IBD instead of the ASP. So I don't know. I really should try it one day though. I need to file my nails. I feel like my right hand is starting to look not quite as squoval as I would prefer. Yeah, you've got that. Did you see the one I just used, Sparkly? It was this, which it's kind of hard to read on camera. This is ASP in this little circle here. And I've also, some people have said or asked, like, can you, if you don't have the cure spray, can you cure the lightless gel under a light, even though it's supposed to be lightless? So, I don't know. I should try that sometime. We discussed before how poor I am at actual experimentation. Let's super clean off our nails first. So our nails are already pretty clean because we just took off that other polish. But I'm just going to give them a quick swipe with acetone, because that's part of my normal routine. And the other regular polish remover that I use, it's called a strengthening polish remover, and I would be doing air quotes right now if I had an extra hand. So I think even that can leave a little bit of residue on your nails. And any kind of residue can interfere with the peel-off base. So I always like to make sure and give my nails that extra swipe with actual acetone before I get started. And on the underside also. Yeah, and there's a spray that goes with it, Sparkly. I usually buy them separately because they come in a set together. The spray looks like this. I get them from Sally's. They come in a set together, but the set also has some other crap I don't want or need, like some fake nail tips. And so I usually just buy them separately. And also, I mean, depending on how you use them, you may run out of one before you run out of the other. Okay, so, camera, please. Whoa. God. Okay, I just almost spilled my new bottle of base coat. I'm hoping the rest of the stream goes a little smoother, you guys. Oh, okay. Cleaned that up. Disaster averted. Let's throw that away. I didn't quite make the trash can, I'll admit it. And, see here, let's... there. Make sure that you guys can see, and my tutorial camera can see. Alright. Starting out with clean, dry nails, I'm going to be applying a base coat. I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base, and you can use whichever is your personal favorite. I mean, I don't think most regular people that aren't changing their polish multiple times a week have any use for a peel-off base coat outside of like an actual glitter manicure, which is like what peel-off base coat was initially created for. And then like some people started just using it all the time, because why not? It did piss me off again the other day though. It was not behaving with that China Glaze OMG water marble that we did over the weekend. I had a couple nails, a couple peelies pop off before I was ready to take off the manicure and had to stick them back on. And they really didn't stick on very well. But the upside is, I have those peelies to remember that manicure by, because none of the pictures did it justice. You guys, that manicure was freaking... The depth was like hypnotic. Out in the sun, or even indoors. Literally one of my favorite water marbles ever. Maybe my favorite manicure I've done this year. I'd have to like sit and think about it for a minute. Definitely my favorite manicure that I've done lately. Although, I mean, I really love those hollow strips that I did for my birthday. But if you were here for that, you know that we had our struggles with those. In part possibly due to using the Madame Glam top coat for sticking them instead of using the pink shellac, which I had used the original time I did it. Regular people are boring. This may be true. I love my peelies. You don't even know if those polishes will get to chili. Oh, man, that would be so frustrating, because I feel like in this day and age, everything should be available practically everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, worldwide shipping is a thing, and it should not be as expensive as it is, especially in certain countries. It's like, it just doesn't seem fair. And I know life's not fair. I mean, I'm not one to be like, oh, it's not fair, but it's really not fair. Everybody should be able to have nail polish. And part of what we're doing today is going to be dependent on the polish being dry enough to press down on. And in fact, no, that was me just thinking about looking for my silicone tools, which I think I know where they are, but I don't think I'm gonna bother. I think I'm gonna... Maybe next time we mess around with this, we'll do with the silicone tools. And once our base coat is dry here, we'll move on to the color, which is gonna be white. We're gonna be doing white and gold today. And I'm hoping it turns out as nice as I hope. You know what I mean, you guys. You watch YouTube videos of new launches of beauty stuff, and 6 months later they just got here. Oh. I mean, a little bit of delay would make some sense, but 6 months? Oh my god, this bottle, you guys. That was so... Well, I guess it is pretty dirty. You guys can see the... This is why you don't want to let your bottlenecks get... Oops. No, you are not dry. You are, in fact, not dry. The Ready for Takeoff is actually kind of slow drying, which is another one of the reasons I usually try to do a very thin coat. You look on YouTube and it's ancient history. So that I don't have to sit around just waiting for it to dry. Which is particularly uninteresting when I'm on stream in front of, I don't know, however many people are here. But we should be able to get going soon. Maybe while we're waiting for that, we'll get out somewhere in here. Actually, can I bend this far? Yeah. This used to be organized. Like, not that long ago. I actually think it's in here. Alright. Where is... Here we go. This is what we're going to be playing with. In fact, maybe we'll put you... In fact, maybe you... No. Okay. So, this... kind of hard to see on camera. Suppose I could turn off the ring light, but I think you're getting a little bit of the effect. This is a smooth gold hollow. And it's got that same little sticker that the silver had, which I kind of hate, because it ruins a part of the foil. So we're going to remove that. We've got that little wrecked spot. We'll just go around that. But this is what we're going to be using on the tips of my nails. It's gonna be pretty dang cool. I hope. We'll set that up there for now. Story of your life, musical. Oh. Yeah, well, and it seems to me, too, like nail polish is not that hard to manufacture. Well, I know next to nothing about manufacturing nail polish, so maybe I'm wrong, but like, if shipping is the thing, like, freaking just open a South American distribution center or whatever. Yeah, it used to be organized, exactly. Pandemonium Gaming, hello. Thank you for joining us. I think we're finally just about dry here. This pinky is still got a little bit of a not quite dry spot, but we're just going to roll with it. And, I gotta remember, sometimes it's like I get so used to streaming, it's like, okay, don't forget, you're also recording a tutorial. For my base color today, I'm going to be using OPI Alpine Snow. I'm going to be doing 2 coats of that, and then to speed up the dry time, I'm going to be topping it with Seche Vite. So, oh, that little weird bubble right there, you guys. That's kind of odd. I was gonna go with one of my other whites today, and then, I don't know, I changed my mind and just went back to Alpine Snow as a go-to. I have one from Nina Ultra Pro that I haven't actually tried. It looks like it would be pretty nice, and I've liked other colors from them in the past, but I haven't actually used it yet. I think I got it on clearance, or I got it, you know, those coupons where you have to spend certain XYZ amount of money in order to get the discount, like $5 off of $20. And it's like, well, I need to find 1 or 2 more things to get up to $20. So, if I'm at Sally's or something, the obvious choice of what else to get is some more nail polish. A Morgan Taylor one. See, now this shows again, like I was saying, I really need to organize my stash. I think I got some Morgan Taylors somewhere, but only a couple. Nail polish never stays on your nails. Do you think you have a rough job, or you just don't have a very good base coat, Panda? Let's stay on camera here. And like I said in the tutorial, to the tutorial camera, we're gonna do 2 coats of the white, and then we're gonna do some Seche Vite to help it dry, so that we can then apply the foils, because the foils do require some pressing when you're not doing the gel technique that I did the last time. With the gel technique, the gel itself curing holds them on. But in this technique, we're using the yellow stopper as an adhesive, so we need to really press it to the adhesive to make sure that we get a good transfer. Oh, you work in a restaurant, so you're probably washing your hands all the time. And water is like the #1 enemy of all nail polish. Okay. There we've got our first coat. Oh, the oily nail sparkly tomboy. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I prep with acetone, is to like really dry out my nails. Some people are like, oh, I'd dry out your nails too much, but for polish to adhere, I mean, even with the peel off base coat, you want your nails to be dry when you're applying polish. I mean, I don't know. On camera nail breaks aside, it's not usually a problem for me. Yeah, some kind of clear polish with you. I don't always carry polish with me. Sometimes, like if I really think I might have a peel off base coat failure, I will carry some with me, but I always have nail glue in my purse, just in case. Like, not necessarily for little breaks like the one I had, because true confessions, if that happened while I was out shopping, if I was able to keep hold of that little tiny piece, I probably would like stick it in my purse and fix it once I got home. But I've had instances where I've had breaks that are, deeper into the nail bed, and you don't want that flopping around, for lack of a better term, until you get home. You want to be able to reinforce that as soon as possible. So let's move on to our second coat here. This is kind of like the boring part, like just sitting here painting white polish. I mean, we've done our nail polish and chill streams, but those have usually been like really nice, interesting colors. Why is this bubble like refusing to go away? There we go. Nope, it's coming back. Can you guys? It's not even showing up on camera. Which, per our previous lessons, means that I should not worry about it so damn much. Of course, it might be showing up on the other camera, because not all cameras are created equal. And as usual, I'm not being super neat, because I will be doing a little bit of cleanup. I always have a nail file, Black Sun. Yeah, I have a little miniature glass nail file that I keep in my purse. It's the small version of Bliss Kiss's glass file. How you know you're in the club? You always have polish and nail glue in your purse. The Cool Kids Club, I'm assuming you're talking about. That's a specific bag just for your nails. I don't have one just for my nails, but I do have a little bag of, like, things in my purse. Oh, gotta go, Musical. See you later. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for telling me chat wasn't working. I could still be sitting here oblivious. I mean, I've got OBS in front of my face, but that's just like, I don't know. I'd like to think I would have eventually noticed, but it just wasn't even on my radar to really be paying attention to. Yeah, the Nail Addicts Club. Nail Addicts Not So Anonymous, because we want to know each other and share all of our tips and tricks. Maybe that could have been my Discord name. Nail Addicts Anonymous. But I'm happy with my simple little Discord, because it goes with my brand. Such as it is. And I could nitpick this white and my application of it, but generally I think we're getting a pretty nice even coat here. I don't think we're going to need to go for 3 coats. Like maybe if I was strictly wearing my nails white, which I very rarely ever do. A broken glass file. Oh no. That is always so sad because, well, for one thing, because a good glass nail file is expensive. Often. I've had some good cheap ones, but most of my more favoritist, if that's a word, have been a little more, I mean, not like super expensive, but expensive enough that I'm pissed off if they break. Okay, so before we do top coat Seche Vite, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little quick cleanup around the edges. And this little bubble on the pinky is honestly bugging the hell out of me. Even though I know you guys can't see it. Can't water marble, Panda? It takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. And a lot of trial and error. Okay, let's add just a little bit more white for the pinky. Yeah, a group like that wouldn't mean we're trying to break the addiction. Accepting your addiction and incorporating it into your life. That could be our motto. Hopefully Seche will smooth that out. I'm gonna quit messing with it. You get your glass nail files from Sally's. I saw one there that I really liked the shape of it once. It was kind of a uniquely shaped file, but I couldn't justify it because I already have so many. My favorite is actually this ginormous one that I got at the state fair. And it's good quality as well as being gigantic. So I'm just cleaning up the little bit of edges where I always seem to have some mess and cleaning up the cuticle line so that it's nice and even and neat. Mrs. Shrado, hello. I mean, it can depend. I will show you once I finish this little bit of cleanup here. My favorite one. The cheaper ones, like I had a cheap one from Walgreens that I actually liked decently well, but it just felt like it didn't stay, I mean, sharp is not the right word. Gritty, I guess. Like some cheap glass files, it feels like, you know, as you use them, the grit almost wears off just like a normal nail file, which is kind of like not the greatest thing. The more expensive ones definitely seem to stand up a little bit more. The ones that I've had from Bliss Kiss, I know I didn't order them at the same time. So one is much older than the other, but I don't remember if I got the large one first or the small one that I keep in my purse. I've had both of those for over a year. And the one in my purse honestly doesn't get used a ton. But the larger one is usually my go-to file for just like regular filing. Like maintenance filing or touching up the shape of my nails. And then my really big one I usually use if I'm like actively trying to file off a considerable amount of length. My back is kind of killing me too. You've tried for years, Panda. You mean water marbling? Oh, Seche Vite always shrinks on you. I'm so glad that I'm not one of the people that Seche Vite always shrinks on, because it seems like, I want to say at least like 10 to 20% of people have that problem with Seche Vite. I mean, there are other good quick dries out there, and if you're interested in trying it, Sèche Vive, the one that comes in the blue bottle and claims to be like a gel effect top coat. When I did a comparison with that, I had a lot of comments of people saying that they had problems with shrinking with Sèche Vite, but they did not have those problems with shrinking with Sèche Vive. Of course, I mean, there's tons of other good ones out there too. The most amazing and random stuff, Sparkly. Yeah, I mean, ours does too. I mean, there's a lot of food, there's a lot of animals, but there's also a lot of buildings with just stuff for sale. Like infomercial type stuff or just cool type of stuff. State Fair is actually where I got my very first nail stamping kit. My very first Conad set came from the State Fair. And the little shop where I got my nail file, like, sells all these, like, different size tweezers, different size scissors, different size, like, weird implements, I would say. And, I would love to see if they have some other nail files, just because, like, you know, you'll be in, like, a different area of the house, and you're like, oh, I wish I had a nail file around in here. Lost it for a year and just found it after moving. Doesn't say sharp and then it just died. HK Girl. I've heard a lot of good things about HK Girl. The C curve of your nail, that can really, it can be so different from person to person. So this is my big glass file. I mean, okay, like, I'll put it next to my hand. It's taller than my hand. And it's wider, like, it's wider than one of my fingers. And I mean, it's kind of hard to show on camera, but I mean, it's still absolutely doing its job. Like, in comparison to, this is the large Bliss Kiss one, and I'd say it's a good half again as long and almost twice as wide. So, like, the big one is like my workhorse, and it gives you that nice glass file, like, feel, but I feel almost like it's, like a slightly, not quite as fine as a grit as this one. So sometimes if I'm, like, taking off a lot of length with that one, I'll finish off with my Bliss Kiss one. I know, Black Sun. It's, like, so gigantic. I mean, like, that would not ever be something I'd keep in my purse. Yeah. My C-curve, I mean, it's kind of hard to show on camera, is not super curved. Like, they're curved, some of them more than others, and, like, my nails where I have bending and stuff, sometimes the C-curve is, like, very lopsided. But yeah, water is the worst thing for nails, I think, hands down. Only thing worse than water, it's like the two opposites, I would say, is paper. Because paper will just suck the moisture right out of your nails. When I was working in an office, I really tried not to go into work without my nails painted, because I dealt with a lot of paper, and I mean, you feel it on your hands, but you don't necessarily think about how it affects your nails too. It does the same thing to your nails that it does to your hands. It sucks the moisture right out. And that top coat did deal with that issue on my pinky that I was having. Thankfully, won't have that bugging me all manicure. Oh, we've got a cat here. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. Because of course we do, because would it even be a white polished manicure without a beanie hair? sticking in there? The answer to that question, if you're wondering, is no. I mean, I have beanie hairs all over, pretty much as a general, just a general rule of thumb. I mean, I've accepted it. Oh, thumb. Speaking of thumb, don't forget to top coat your thumb, Colette. But white polish in particular, I mean, maybe it's just because it shows up so much more obviously than with a regular manicure. But, I swear, every time I do a white manicure, I have the worst problems with cat hair. Okay. Now, once we get this on, sorry guys. Seche Vite will get it dry to the touch pretty quickly. I'm not sure how this is actually going to go as a manicure. The tests that I've done have only been on like a piece of paper. And I thought about doing some more testing before I did the actual manicure, and then I was like, nah, just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? Knowing that, like, I mean, there's all kinds of bad things that could happen. But my hope is, as long as my base color is dry enough, this should work out well. And there's another tiny small hair. Nope, can't get it out. He is here in spirit. I almost got him to come in here. He like, I was like, oh, come on, Beanie. Come sit in your chair. Come stream with me. And he like followed me into the room and looked around for a minute. And then he was like, no, and turned around and left. So, alright. When I tested the yellow stopper... Okay, so if you don't know, this is yellow stopper. It's intended as a base coat. I don't know if I've ever met anybody that actually uses this as a base coat, although I have heard that 2 coats of yellow stopper will work as a peel-off base coat. I haven't personally tried that. But most of the time when I use it, it's because it dries to a slightly sticky, kind of tacky consistency. Not like super, super sticky, but sticky enough to be helpful. However, for the foils, we need something that is quite sticky. We actually need something that is sticky enough to pull the foil backing off. And so when I did a couple additional tests, I'm just looking for maybe this one. Maybe that'll be good. When I did a couple of additional tests, like I did it as I was watching TV. Okay, Seche Vite is not quite dry yet. Can you see the dimple on the end of that thumb? Barely. I nudged it against something. So let's try to sit here patiently. When I did some additional testing with the yellow stopper, I was like watching TV. I wasn't paying full attention. And I painted on a piece of paper. Do I still have that piece of paper? Yes, I do. I don't remember which of these is which. I painted it over and I couldn't actually get it to stick. But when it does stick, you get this result. I mean, which is not quite as cool as this, which is a gel results. But you do still get like a good amount of the hollow. The other half of this, so half of this is topped with water-based top coat, half is topped with Seche Vite. The half that looks kind of dead and uninteresting is topped with Seche Vite. So, while we're waiting for our nails, you guys have a partial ownership of my nails now. Maybe I should just accept that. We've got our water-based top coat, which in my case is the Sally Hansen, what did they call us? Oh, special effect top coat. Came with their chrome kits. I hate the brush on this thing. Angel from TwiStar loves the yellow stopper. I've learned to love it quite a lot. 6-in-1 tool. Like when I did the stamped water marble last time, I was using it to create that stickiness and get the marble from the stamper onto my nails. The one time that I forgot to do that, it was such a freaking disaster. So this little dumb shit is the brush in here. I cleaned out an old ready for takeoff bottle with the intention of using it, but I had some issues, and this is what happened to the brush. So, what I want to do while we're sitting here waiting for our nails to fully dry is see if I can mash this brush back into a shape of brushliness. So, I just dipped it in there. Now I've got a paper towel, and I'm just gonna like try to pinch it back together and see what happens. I mean, it's less bushy. It's still bushy. I might have to, I wonder, will this screw on here? No. I was gonna say, what would happen if I left it in there for a while? Or let it dry with some on it? I feel like this should not be a complete deal breaker. I feel like I should be able to get this brush back in a usable state, but that might be wishful thinking. So, for this manicure only, because I did not get another bottle ready, we are actually going to have to deal with that little dumb, ridiculous. Of course, do I have... I don't think I do. At one point, I had some extra brush stems. Some oil might do it. I just don't want to mess with oil in the middle of a manicure, because that might be bad. Our nails are getting there. We're at least dry to the touch. I think for now I'm just gonna attempt to deal with it. So, foil. How much of this am I gonna need? I'm probably gonna need, how many? I could probably get 3. So let's say 3, 6, 9, and we've got the goobery part right there. So let's cut this here and set the rest of this up here. This is pretty similar if you're going this way versus this way, but I'm going to try and apply it all the same direction on my nails just to avoid possible issues. I maybe should have... Oh, well. I was going to say, I maybe should have showed that for the tutorial. Guess what? I forgot. I'm going to get... This is really... I'm just looking at how blue this is. I'm trying to remember what I did on this last time. I've got this out just to... No, where's my... I prefer a slightly smaller lid when I'm using it as a palette, so let's scoot this off up to the side so it's not completely in the way. I don't know where my small lid went. My room is a disaster, but you guys... Well, the thing is, well, like, if I were to... Like, it's kind of hard to see in there. Can I... The stem looks like a regular stem. Like, if I look way down in there, I think if I just yanked this out, I could stick a whole nother stem in there, and then I wouldn't have to worry about getting a new bottle. So I might just do that. I thought I had some more around here somewhere, but if I do, they are in a mystery location. But I did order some more stems during my my Bliss Kiss order. I think I ordered 6, because the brush in the Simply Peel has a tendency to get gross, and you can only clean it off so many times before it's just, like, wrecked. So, maybe that'll be my new plan. Instead of trying to clean out one of my old bottles and dealing with these old, crusty brushes, I'll just stick a new brush in that bottle. What else was I gonna say here? I can't find my lid. Oh, my disaster of finding stuff in my room. My room is still a disaster, but you guys, I got 2 of my 4 Helmers assembled yesterday. In fact, maybe can we? Let me take Beanie's cam off here. Can you? Oh, it's so hard to see. The thing is right in the way. Right here. Here. That's a new Helmer. You're gonna have to take my word for it because I can't get it on camera. The plan is to get 2 more new Helmers in here and then get to reorganizing the stash. I'm really looking forward to it. I managed not to break a nail while I was assembling the Helmers. So that was a good thing. And I'm really looking forward to getting everything organized. Because I like having things organized. I just usually am very poor at it. The thing with using the yellow stopper, and I think I started talking about this and then got sidetracked. Stephanie, hello. Is you have to apply the foil before it gets past the point of being tacky enough for the foil to stick. So yeah, I think our nails are dry enough. I'll explain it some more as I go along in the tutorial, and then we'll chat about it more once I actually do it a couple times. I think I'm just going to use this one strip too. I was thinking about cutting it into more nail-sized strips, but yeah, Stephanie, I was just trying to show my 2 new Helmers that I assembled yesterday, and I've got 2 more to assemble. And when I was doing it, I was like, why did I put this off for so long? This really isn't as bad as I thought. The first one took me like an hour and a half, and the second one took me about an hour. Like, once you remember what you're doing, it's really not that hard. The hardest part of putting Helmers together for me, and I remember this from my last ones also, for whatever reason, is freaking screwing in the casters. A power drill probably would help. I didn't have one handy. But it's like the screws at a certain point before they're all the way in just get really stubborn to screw, and you really gotta like crank it. Your work internet likes me. 160p. But wait, but that means that I have quality options. Which is actually an excellent thing, because apparently not everybody has quality options. So that means that enough of you guys are watching me that Twitch is giving you guys options. That's awesome. Streaming my organizing. I won't rule it out, Sparkly. I won't rule it in, but I won't rule it out either. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to watch. Well, I'm glad you can watch. That's actually awesome. That's one of the first good news things that's come out of this stream. So many goofy things and things being broken. It depends on the time of the stream. Whether the quality options are open, you mean? I did not know that. There's still so much that I don't know about Twitch, though, that I'm not even surprised I don't know that. I think... You guys see right there in the corner of my middle nail, that hair there? So yeah, Beanie's definitely here in spirit. So when I was doing a little bit of testing, I did find, like I said, that if you wait too long, it's not tacky enough to stick. It seemed like the sweet spot was about 2 minutes. So I've got my little clock up in the corner. I'm going to be aiming for 2 minutes after applying the yellow stopper for applying the foil. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. Okay. I suppose it depends on how a lot of the resources go toward partners who always have it. So if fewer partners are streaming, then more affiliates get the options. That's kind of cool. You're just as Twitch illiterate. I mean, some days are worse than others. Some days I'm like, man, I got all this shit together. Like, God, who was it? Was it you, Coney, that was complimenting me on my commands? I don't even know. I'm sorry. It probably wasn't you. It was probably somebody else. And they're like, hey, it was me. Like, some days I feel very competent, and other days I'm just like, not. Oh, it was. You mean my memory is actually working properly today? Oh my god. Mark this on your calendars. Okay, I'm gonna... Now that I'm actually to this point, I feel like I should have done some additional testing, because I'm trying to mentally... Like, I don't have a script for my tutorials, but I try to at least mentally say, okay, this segment of the tutorial, I want to touch on this, and this point. So, we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna get this camera going. And I'm just gonna talk it through. Like I talked it through to you guys, except hopefully with a little bit more sense. So today, instead of using foil glue as our adhesive, we're actually going to be using yellow stopper. And yellow stopper does dry to a tacky finish, but it does not stay fully tacky. So we're going to be applying a little bit, waiting about 2 minutes, and then applying the foils. I've got just a little bit out here on this lid, and I'm going to be using this brush to apply it in kind of like a waterfallish pattern on my nail. And like with some kind of like brush strokey looking effect. So like that. And I'm just going to be working one nail at a time, because I want to make sure to hit the sweet spot of the tackiness. So I'm actually going to let this nail sit for just a couple minutes. I've got a little clock up. I'm keeping an eye on it. And I've cut off a strip of this golden hollow nail foil. And this is what I'm going to be applying at the tip once my yellow stopper is tacky enough. You have a lot of options as far as how to press down your foil. You can use a finger, you can use an orange stick, you could use a silicone tool. I'm going to be using, I'm thinking I'm using a Q-tip. That's the plan right now. And if that doesn't work, I may reconsider. But, like I said, I'm going to try and hit what I think is the sweet spot of about 2 minutes. So I'm going to wait. I thought maybe I could talk for 2 minutes, but I can't. So we're going to wait, and then we're going to stick on this foil. Sometimes that can be really hard, like in a tutorial, like figuring out if you want to wait or if you want to like time your explanation to perfectly line up with what you want. In this case, I'm just pressing it on with the stamper might be good too, because that does give pretty. I don't know if a stamper would like press hard enough. Maybe it would. I'm learning so much about foils now. So yeah, we're about to the tackiness. I'm gonna give this just like a couple more seconds, because I feel like, and I didn't test it, and I probably should have. Again, like, just wasn't in the mood for testing, so I didn't do any. I feel like if it was too wet, that also is going to be a problem. So the yellow stopper should be appropriately tacky. I'm going to stick on the foil, making sure to cover that whole area where I applied it. Press it down, and then really press it using a Q-tip all along the area where I had the yellow stopper, and crossing my finger that it works. Once I am confident that it's stuck on there well, then we're going to peel it up, and hopefully, okay, That's not flawless, but it is okay. We're going to go on this corner here and try and just get that on there like that. The tip of the nail seems to be where I'm going to be having problems. I might actually need to add a little bit more yellow stopper and go back. But that's the basic idea of what I'm going for. I'm going to do the rest of my nails. Maybe I'll try working 2 nails at a time. Going 1 at a time is really quite slow. But once I'm done with all of them, I'll go back and do any necessary touch-up. Oh, and that little pile I put out on my lid is starting to get weird and dry and gross too. So I'm adding out a little bit more on the lid. And then just gonna continue stroking it on here. And I might not even, that might have just been an application of the yellow stopper issue. Like I didn't have enough at the tip of my nail. So let's kind of try and do like that. And I'm just, again, keeping an eye. Okay. And then it's like having to do math at the same time. Like, okay, what's 2 minutes from 4:30 and 50 seconds? So I want to do this one at about 33. And we'll do this the same kind of way. And I'm trying to keep the, like the longest part of this kind of brush strokey abstract thing in the center of the nail. You can do whatever kind of pattern or design you like. I'm going to need some more polishing over here too, because I don't want my brush to get like gross and sticky. You've never played with foils, Coney. It's been a long time since I played with them. The gel foil application is what actually got me back to playing with them. But I know a lot of people are not fans of gel. So, really good glue at the yellow stopper. Not all glue are created equal. Yeah, I have. It should be in that box of foils somewhere. I have a nail foil glue. But I'm not super impressed with it, and I wish I could remember which one of these tests on here was with the foil glue. But I do not. Nail stamping and gradients. Those two things can really, you can get a lot of different looks out of just those two things though. Especially like if you get into like reverse stamping or making decals with your stamper. And gradients, I mean gradients are one of my favorite things. I love gradients. I should do more of them. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of like a cheap way out because it's not that like complicated of a tutorial. But tutorials don't always have to be complicated. Alright, pressing this on. Press, 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 press. Hitting the tips, hitting the sides. Like that. And cross your fingers. Ooh. Ah, I think that one could have actually used... Oh man, that's gross. That's not cool. So I think that one I must have applied slightly thicker. That needed extra time to dry. So maybe I should... Well... When did I paint this one? Is it... It feels like a good tackiness. We're gonna see though. I mean, part of that might also be that underneath the Sèche Vite, my base color is not as fully dry as I would like it to be. Or, you know, when your polish is dry, but then you add something on top, and it's almost like it re-wets all the layers underneath of it. That one came out kind of better. I think you guys can clearly see, though, why the gel technique was so interesting to me. Because the gel technique really, like, you get really good looking nail foils out of it. Like this, even the sections that I would consider a good application are not like a fully smooth foil application. I feel like. Does that make sense? Alright, so this will go for 437. And some change. Oh no, don't tip over. Almost spilled the yellow stopper, you guys. That would be bad, okay? Oh, there went the camera. Because my camera only likes to record in segments of 10 minutes. Apparently it's been that long. Okay. Man, that ring finger is looking wrecked as hell. You gave Sally's another chance and they actually had what you were looking for? What'd you get, Stephanie? Not the liquid gold. I should have gave it a tap test. That's what I should have done. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna say it's okay, even if in my heart I don't feel like it's okay. And this sitting here waiting part is kind of difficult too. But like I feel like I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to do multiple nails at a time. Like if I painted all 5 of the tips of my nails, by the time I got to my thumb, I think the thumb would be too dry. And what happened when I did it and it was too dry in my tests is like, well, I'll show you in a minute once I finish these couple, which I'm trying to, it's like I'm trying to eyeball it, I'm trying to touch it, I'm trying to time it. Finding the sweet spot of the time is the tricky part with this. If you're using foil glue, it's actually a lot simpler. Well, over white it would be tricky, but generally it's a lot simpler because the foil glue is milky, and once it's fully dry, it's clear. So once it's clear, you know that you're good to go. With this, I feel kind of like just try it and pray. Like, cross your fingers and go. Alright. Is this gonna be a good one or a sucky one, you guys? A meh one, I think I would call that. Can we get a little bit more on the corner here? Did I miss that? This is so frustrating. Whoa. And I mean, I'm trying, the other part too is it's like difficult to apply even pressure on a curved nail. Just like we were talking about C-curves earlier, I think this is another thing where having extremely... Oh! You guys... Having extremely curved nails could cause you problems. You feel it was thinning out your nails. Having it on, you mean, Stephanie? I've never tried the Orly acrylic powder patch kit. I've thought that it looked interesting. I'm looking at these, like... Especially this thumb. Well, and especially this pointer, or ring finger. Well, we're going to attempt to fix it. We're going to add a little bit more yellow stopper, and we're just going to try to fix it. So, we're going to add just a tiny bit, like the pinky actually turned out best. The other thing, though, is these ones that are, in fact, I'm actually going to try and do all the repairs at once. What the hell? We'll just go for it. These ones where it really lifted up some of the base color, I feel like now we don't have a smooth base, so that will also affect how well the foil sticks. We'll just see here. Give this a minute to dry. I think I let the pinky dry the longest. I mean, I was trying to time it. It's really hard to tell, though, especially on a white base, like how thickly. I mean, I'm trying not to go thick. I'm trying to do a thin application. But cuticle area always starts lifting, and when you remove it, your nails seem thinner and not as healthy as the nails that didn't have the acrylic powder. So since it's acrylic stuff, do you have to, like, file it off, or do you just soak it off with polish remover? I feel like that's tacky enough. I'm gonna actually, like, make this a little easier on myself. Like, let's get rid of some of this used area. Okay. And I gotta be careful, too, because can you guys see, even just from the handling and the, like, the application, you see how wrinkly the foil is getting? I mean, that's gonna affect things, too. Alright, so let's... There, that's good. I feel like that's... Alright. And maybe I should just be using my finger instead of Q-tip. Maybe that would have been a better... That's even worse! Guys, I'm so frustrated. We'll give it another couple seconds. You soak it off. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I've never used that one, so I don't know for sure. This is just not... I feel like the pinky is the only good nail right now. Out of all these. There. That's better. Let's see if we can get that kind of a result here. Okay, better. Still got some issue areas. This is the one that is the most, well, and the thumb. So let's do our thumb here now too. And we'll we'll try and double fix, apparently, the ring finger. So let's just like this, all these bare areas. And the side and the center here. Please, just work with me. Okay, 445 almost, so we should be good at 447. Yeah, it is still wet underneath. Like, it feels dry, like, when I'm touching, I mean, I'm pressing hard, I'm not just lightly touching, but it's when you add the yellow stopper back on top, I think it's just doing that thing that nail polish does. Like, so maybe I'm actually pressing too hard. Maybe I need to let the stickiness do more of the job. But if you don't make sure that it's pressed across, then you still are going to end up with holes. So, yeah, I hope it works for you too. I've been pretty happy with it. I mean, it depends too. Like, my thoughts on patching have changed over time and over the years. Like, if I would have a break, I used to kind of like patch and reinforce the entire nail, and now I really try to mainly stay just where the break is without too much additional overlap on the nail. Ripping it off super fast. That might work. I wish I had somebody, excuse me, with more foil experience than I have. Sorry guys. I want to touch up the tip of this ring finger a little bit too. Like, there. Okay, we've still got like a minute to wait. This waiting game is driving me crazy too. And gotta make sure I leave enough of this to properly do my other hand. Maybe I should move on to the other hand after this, regardless of how well these repairs go. I think this is just something that is going to require like a considerable amount more of practice. Let's please. Hey, better. Maybe all the pleasing actually worked. Please stick. I mean, it's somewhat. Oh. I'm just gonna make a note to myself. Well, that'll not happen. I was gonna say never get this cocky again and just think that I can wing it without testing. 'Cause, I mean, if I had done more testing, we would not be in this situation. Okay. So, I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, it's kind of horrible, but I mean, it's not. It could be worse. Every glue available, even the craft glues and nail stopper and stuff across the street, seas you can't pronounce. The glue from Dollar Nail Art. I want to try Dollar Nail Art because you can order like individual foils from there. What is it about their glue that's so different, Sparkly? Is it just like super sticky? the yellow stopper is supposed to be just like a non-gel way to do this. Because every time I do it, anytime I do anything with gel, people are like, oh, gel polish. Not everyone, but certain people. And it's like, you know, gel polish needs love too. There's nothing wrong with gel polish. I mean, it's not... It was a delivery truck. I don't even remember if I have anything coming, but I was like, are you for me, delivery truck? So, yeah, I just wanted to try the perfect stickiness. I just wanted to try this because, like, my experiments went so well. But like I said, my experiments were on a freaking piece of paper. So, I don't know. We're going to try something a little bit different on the right hand. Not like fully different, but we'll see. We're gonna do all the nails at once with a short delay in between them that is intended to represent the time between each nail getting foil, and we'll just see how this works out. So again, we're just creating kind of a little waterfall tip with the yellow stopper. And like I said, this is kind of difficult too because you kind of have to like know what you're doing because you can't quite see what you're doing. Let that stuff overdry 5 minutes and still get perfect full coverage. See, the problem, Sparkly, is I'm going to go to buy that glue, and I'm not going to be able to resist looking at the foils, and I'm going to end up spending like $80 on foils. Okay, maybe not $80, but like more than I need to considering the amount of foils that I already have and have not used. How to and what you need gel video. Want to try it, but you're not totally sure of the products and process. Well, like, when I first started with gel, the only reason I got it was because of the mirror pigment, which some people have also said, and I would like to try, that yellow stopper will work for applying pigments. And what I started out with was like a top coat and a base coat and the lamp and the pigments. But I wasn't using the base coat because I don't want to go through the whole process of gel removal. I was using peel off base coat still, which it does not always work very well with gel. Like, sometimes I get even less wear out of a gel manicure with peel off base coat than a regular manicure with peel off base coat. And it's definitely got a learning curve. Like, learning to keep the polish off your skin and learning to apply really thin coats, for me, are the toughest. I'm probably not the best one to, like, teach anybody about gel, because every time I mess with gel, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing this right. $1.50. Yeah. For the glue. But isn't, like, each roll of foil like $1? I mean, I already know. I've been there. I may even, if they have a wish list, I may have a wish list started there of all these different foils that I want to get. Sort of. Not as good as Gel Mist Trado. $10 minimum order last at checks. You have to get yourself 9 foils and go anyway. Just limiting yourself to 9. 9. I maybe could do that. I'd have to go on a day when I have some willpower. Hi, Polished Soul. But yeah, the main thing I would suggest if you really want to get into gel, I'm gonna give that just a little bit longer. That may or may not be a good idea. Decide if you want to go UV or LED. Some go with both. And there are some lamps, I think, that do both. But that's kind of the biggest initial decision. I decided to go with LED because it's less, like rays, not UV rays, because it's not UV, but I mean, it's less what, you know, people could consider harmful rays on you. And it's usually like half the curing time of UV. So the lamp that I have is an LED lamp. And, all the gels that I have are LED gels. Okay, you guys. Success or failure? We'll know in a moment. Was that due to my poor, uneven pressing? Uh-oh. Are you too dry? This one might be too dry. Might need to speed up here, or skip a nail or two. Oh, look at you guys! This is getting irritating as hell. I think part of the problem, too, I mean, while we're sitting here talking about all the problems that I'm having, is that by, you know, trying to apply it, like in this French tippy design, I'm oh, there goes the battery on my camera. Piece of shit. No, my camera. I love you, camera. Don't be mad. I'm creating an uneven layer of the yellow stopper, so even each nail is not having consistent drying. This is frustrating. I had visions of this just being like the bombest freaking manicure. And that vision may still come to pass, but it's a lot more little tedious messing around than I anticipated. I feel like this is gonna be good. Best one of the bunch, I guess you could say. Can you please stick here? I will say, now look at this. The right hand here is more hollowy or more foily looking than most of my left hand. I wonder why. You guys see what I mean? Like, the right hand is maintaining a lot more of the mirror finish. The left hand is getting a lot more... I think that's probably from all the fixes. Your heart is breaking for me. I'm saying, it's like... I'm kind of... Like, I'm at the point where I almost, like, don't want to finish the tutorial. Because, like, I'm, like, what am I teaching people here, exactly? It's just, like, full of fucking fail. That's what I feel like is going on here. I don't think I'm gonna do a tutorial on this. Yeah, the left looks crinkly, and I'm not sure if that's because of my application or because of all the fixes that I attempted. My dreams of nail foil glory are just going down in flames. No, finish the tutorial. Don't be a little bitch. People love tutorials where I fail. So I really should just... make people happy by showing them my failures. Yeah, I think this is the actual application though. Last time it was some kind of weird shit with the way the top coat was reacting, or the gel was reacting. I'm just looking at this like, man. I mean, like the part that is stuck is on there nicely and good, and you are getting that, you know, that foil look. But the application is just so... Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys, because I do my nails for myself, but like right now, should I go forward and just try my best to fix these, or should I fucking start over? And retry this, or just do something completely different. It is real life. It also shows this is what happens when you don't test anything. I like the difference in the thumbs too. See, this thumb, this is the right thumb, this is the left thumb, and the right thumb did turn out pretty crinkly too. Also, for who was it that asked? If this is supposed to be easier than gel. With the gel technique, I haven't tried that for any way other than, like the strips. Because of the way it works, I don't know how easy it would be to get like a full, like a single foil on your full nail. Because like the foil doesn't always want to stay where you put it unless you actually like cut out a piece exactly the size of your nail and stuck it to the wet gel. Like this is just really kind of... Part of me is like, ditch this, stop what you are doing. And part of me is like, no, this is what you said you were doing. See it through to the end. I'm extra frustrated because this was supposed to be a good tutorial for Sunday, because I'm not doing nail stream this weekend. Let's see if I can... We'll try one more time to do a couple repairs. And if it still looks crappy after this, we're doing something else. I don't know what. Rubbing alcohol, Miss Invisible? It's not as handy as everything else, but I do have some. Do you have a secret trick for me to try? And hello. You are in fact visible now. You are no longer lurking and invisible. Now you gotta fly to the gym, Coney. Have a good workout. Props for going to the gym. That's a place I have never in my life been to. I'm, Miss Invisible, I'm not doing great. But all the things that are going poorly are actually, in fact, not life-altering things. So I guess I could say, you can rub the foil off with rubbing alcohol. I'll be right back. I'd never heard that before. And it is certainly worth a try. Because at this point... can't hurt to try. That's how it worked for you in the past. Well, let's see. I've got a little cup here. I've got alcohol. Rubbing alcohol, y'all. Not like get turned alcohol. Let's just try with a Q-tip on this pinky here. Let's record this just in case it turns out to be great. But the yellow stopper won't come off, but that's okay, because the foil is part of the problem too. Ah. Look at that, you guys. It's like magic. I did not know that was a thing. Thank you so much, Miss Invisible. I think we're just going to start over with the right hand and see if we can get it to work out. Huh. Freaking magical. Might redo the other hand too. We could just pretend like this whole disaster never happened. I mean, that would be a little bit misleading for anybody watching the tutorial later. But you guys will know. You'll know the truth. Yeah, I mean, this is like... I kind of want to say game changer. Nice. We are back to a clean slate, you guys. Too long to apply a foil after the glue is applied. Well, I don't know when you got here, Miss Invisible. The first hand, this hand, which, I mean, is looking better, but it's because we did many repairs. I wonder, too, if this will even come off as nicely, because I've got several layers of the yellow stopper on there. Let's see how this comes off. I'm not using foil glue. I'm using yellow stopper, which is part of the experiment. But when what was happening in some cases, the thing with the yellow stopper is, it has a very limited window of when it's sticky enough for the foil to apply. And a couple of these, I waited too long and it didn't stick. And a couple of them, I didn't wait long enough and it was a gloppy, glommy mess. So, found this out by doing nail art. You've been watching me on YouTube for a long time. Well, thank you. I love, see, this is something, if I was doing this just, you know, by myself in my room, whatever, I would just be sitting here crying right now. Maybe not literally, but maybe literally. Just out of pure frustration and disappointment. And strictly because I have you guys to support me, I have learned something new and possibly saved the manicure. I might, I'm just thinking here, I might give up with the yellow stopper for today, you guys. I might do the second attempt with actual foil glue. Just because it is a little more foolproof as far as the ideal drying time. You've done nails for about 10 years now. I mean, I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years, but I mean, I am not a professional. I think this has demonstrated how not a professional I am. Okay. This one is the worst one. We might have to, that one's not great either. Most of these are looking really nice and clean though. Do I have a paper towel? I do have Orly Bonder. Gotta take your kids to the library. Have fun at the library. The library is one of my favorite places, Stephanie. Yeah, the first hand was a little bit of a disaster, Miss Invisible. I had one, it was like, I couldn't tell if just the yellow stopper was too wet or if it had like re-wet the polish underneath. Okay, I think Okay. We'll stick that up there. I'm just looking here. I'm debating if I want to... You're not a professional at all, just a lot of videos on YouTube. A couple of these nails I feel like could use a little bit of white touch-up. I'm very debating on whether I want to actually or not, because then we're going to have to re-wait for them to dry. Maybe we'll... Where is my nail glue? Of course, this is dependent... Switching to nail glue is dependent on me finding the nail glue. Oops, is this still recording? Stop that. Nail glue. Okay. So... Let's trim this. I think this part is salvageable. So Miss Invisible, since you apparently are more of a pro at nail foils than me, what do you usually prefer for pressing your nail foils down? Do you like to use your finger? Do you like to use a Q-tip? Do you like to use a stamper or a silicone tool or an orange stick? I don't think it's the foil, although I haven't used this particular one before. It's the same brand as the silver one that I was doing. Your nails are prepped for magnetics, but I'm making you want to play with your foils. Oh, and did I even say hello to you, Jackie? If not, hello. Use your finger and an orange stick. Alright, you guys. We're gonna... Let's cut another section to have out. We'll go about like that. And we'll do a little recording. We'll tell the YouTube people that there were some issues, but if they want to see the issues, they're gonna need to watch this video. And maybe, what does this brush even look like? Oh god, this foil glue is gross. It's thick. Is my foil glue any good? Uh-oh. Shake it up. I mean, I know it's glue. I'm gonna have to get that, Dollar Nail Art glue. Oh my god, you guys. That doesn't look good at all. Like... Shouldn't it be, like, flowing back down into the bottle? Okay, you know what? No. I'm not using the foil glue. I'm not using... Well, now I'm really torn. Somebody said, give up on the foils and just... No! Beanie! No! Beanie! Beanie just almost knocked a really big pie. Stop! 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 Come here. Beanie. Here. In your chair. Come on. In your chair. Why are you even trying to go over there? Like I said, I'm in process of organizing, and there's a pile. Come here. Come here. This little dork. Like, no. No, I'm gonna be up here. I'm really torn right now. I'm this glue. I mean, okay, look. I'm holding it upside down and there's nothing coming out. Even if it's supposed to be thicker than polish, I don't think it's supposed to be this thick. I don't want to use that. I don't particularly want to try the yellow stopper again. I'm tempted to try the Orly, but I've never even tried it before. And I'm like almost leaning toward, okay, let's just try something completely different. Oh. You don't use foil glue, but craft glue, since it's all water-based glue. I do have some Elmer's. The question is, do I feel like doing more experiments, or do I feel like finishing a manicure? And it's already 5:15. Yes, Jackie. Beanie. When I got Beanie, I determined that I wanted to train him. But he's a cat. So training a cat is kind of like training a terrier. They're smart but stubborn. Beanie will come to me. Beanie has limited outdoor privileges, and if we're outside together and I say, okay, Beanie, time to come inside, 75% of the time he'll go, okay, mommy, and walk right up to the door with me. The other 25% of the time he'll look at me and run off into a corner of the yard, or run off into the garden, or run up. We have a trellis by our roses that goes like over the sidewalk. He'll climb up the side of that and sit on the top of it. It's like, he's not only not listening to me, he's like getting out of the way so that I can't grab him and force him to come inside. So are you hurling? I think he's working on a hairball. So he is trained, but he is also very stubborn. If your cats had middle fingers, that's what you'd get. Okay, at this point, I'm making the executive decision. We are not fucking around with foils anymore today, you guys. I do so apologize. We need to have a more intense foil testing stream before I attempt to do foils with regular nail polish again, and I need to get me some of that dollar nail art store glue that somebody, was it Sparkly? Was it Steph? Was it somebody? Somebody said. I think it was Sparkly. That the dollar nail art thing, the dollar nail art foil glue was awesome. I really can't believe this. This is not that old. To have already dried out this much. I mean, it was closed. I don't think I've ever even actually used this. I mean, it only cost a couple dollars. It was, I mean, you could see it's completely freaking generic. But that kind of irritates me. Clever. Hi. We are considering our options. If I stamped over the white, I probably would need to redo another coat of white and another layer of Sèche Vite. But that might actually be nice. Or, I will, give me 1 second. I mean, I'm not even, like, leaving the room. I'm just going over here. I've got, like, just to give you guys context, I'm setting up Helmer's right here, like, next to Beanie's chair. I also have 2 Helmers that are next to this bookcase. So I want to see if I can find the color that I'm thinking of. Actually, maybe this would be good. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is happening. Now, China Glaze. If you're watching my video, because why wouldn't China Glaze be watching my video? Please tell me why you didn't re-release this with the OMG Flashback Collection. This is great. This is a gold hollow that my ring light is not doing justice. And that is going on our tips. That is going to save me from having to redo my white. And that is our new updated game plan. So, we get a little bit more acetone out here for cleaning my brush. I'm sad. I'm really sad. And I have only myself to blame. It's gonna be okay though. This'll be beautiful. I think even if though you can't see the hollow, thanks to the ring light, I think you guys can see what a really nice gold this is. So, what do I want to say in the tutorial? Because I mean, obviously it's going to be visible that my beautiful white base is not as flawless as it was. I'm not too sad, Miss Invisible. I'm just disappointed. Because, I mean, like, realistically, manicures are minor in the grand scheme of things. But when you have something in your head and you're just like, oh, I'm going to bring this into reality, and then you go to bring it into reality, and reality is like, nope. It's just like your dreams are being crushed. But we will, Jackie. We will try again. With more preparation and more testing. Oh, okay. Well, I really appreciate you guys' patience and support. I don't think I can put into words. Like, it's easier to be not sad about this with you guys, like, cheering me on. So, I appreciate that. Oops, not that button. Wrong button, camera. We'll tell the YouTube people it's been a slight change of plans due to fails. And, if they want to see what happened, they'll have to watch the VOD. When I came to Twitch, I was like, this gonna be kind of a difficult thing to build an audience from scratch on a platform where a lot of my audience has never even heard of it. So, thank you guys again for being here and watching and being supportive of me. I mean, not just like now, but like of my streams in general, all you guys that have been here before. I like that idea too, Miss Invisible. You're full of good ideas. I hope you join us for more streams, because you are full of good ideas. I do have another foil idea for doing with gels. Kind of similar to that, but not flames. I want to use the foils, some of like the really ones that have kind of more like a almost a shattered glass texture pattern to them. I want to cut them up into some shards, and I want to try and create a stained glass look. Maybe we'll put that for next on our mental to-do list. But doing it with like flames, I feel like even like you could do a couple different colors of foils and do like a what do you call a flame in a flame? Like one flame tongue, a tongue of flame, and do like different colors of flames of tongues of flame. Flames of tongue. We ain't gotta tell them YouTuber shit. No, I gotta say something since I'm lazying out and not adding the white. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, wait a minute, what happened to your finger right about here and here? We'll just make it a brief explanation, and then we'll get to the painting. Yeah, and hopefully this will turn out awesome. So, mid-manicure, I'm having to change my plans. You may see a little bit of damage to the tips of my nails, and that's because what I was planning did not work out. So we're actually having a change of plan, and the change of plan is going to involve Great from the original China Glaze OMG collection. I'm going to add a little bit of that out on my lid here. And then with a medium, smallish to medium brush, I'm going to apply that as kind of a jagged French tip on my nails. So, let's just do this sort of a thing. And we might end up needing to touch up a little bit. completely understand that. Came from YouTube gaming to Twitch. Yeah, I mean, the reason I chose, there's like a lot of reasons that I chose Twitch over YouTube for my live streams once I decided that I wanted to give live streaming a try. YouTube Live just to me does not have the same sense of community to me. And that's not to say that there aren't, you know, good communities on YouTube Live. But I've not found any of them yet, and I've found so many on Twitch. You know, my friend Jerry streams. Well, I call him my friend. My real life friend, she's always getting on me. She's like, have you met these people in real life that you're calling your friend? I'm like, well, no, but I mean, I see him every day. I talk to him every day. He's my friend. You know, his community is called The Porch, and The Porch has all been so supportive of me. Like, on my very first stream, one of my friends from The Porch was literally waiting for me to start streaming so I did not have to sit here and, like, stream to nobody, because that, for me, would have been really stressful. And, you know, one of the Porch family was the first one to subscribe once I got my affiliate. And, I mean, I haven't found anything like that on YouTube where people are like, you know, helping each other out. And it just seems like the streams are all kind of just doing their own thing. This is like not my favorite French tip ever. I maybe should be stroking in the other direction, but I don't want to. Because like stroking like this, like, if I were to stroke in the other direction, maybe I'll just show you guys on my thumb as I switch here. Like if I were to stroke this way, I could get more of a, like a sleeker, pointy edge. But it's kind of a more awkward angle for me right now, and since I'm already about to like hit my manicure red line of anger, I'm just going with the easiest way. But yeah, like when I popped into live streams on YouTube, it just seems like it's not the same feel as I get on Twitch. And as far as like, you know, the affiliate program on Twitch versus the monetization options for live streaming on YouTube, like a lot of YouTube's live streaming attention seems to have been on gamers. Like as far as like channel memberships or sponsorships, super chat, that sort of thing, not even being available to non-gaming channels. Or now they're trying to switch it up, but it's a very slow rollout. And that was kind of distasteful to me. It's like, you know, the gaming live streaming site is more welcoming in that sense to other types of streamers than YouTube is, which seems kind of backwards to me. Not that money is the only thing, but like we were talking about on Jerry's stream the other day, it's a thing. Like, streaming isn't cheap, and to have that option to allow people to support you, people that are interested in supporting you, I feel like is important. But also like, and maybe I'm wrong about this, because like I said, I've never actually streamed myself on YouTube, but I don't think YouTube supports the same kind of like hosting and rating that Twitch does. And I feel like that's another way that streams grow and that communities grow. YouTube is way too toxic. Yeah, see, I mean, I'm really, I don't want to say I'm glad when people say that, because it's a sad situation, but I'm kind of glad that I'm not the only one that got that impression. And not that there's not toxicity on Twitch, too, sometimes. Mini paper punches with the shaped catcher foil. You know, I want to try that too, Jackie. My fear is that a lot of the punches are not super sharp, and the foils are so thin that I think they may not may not cut very neatly, but I asked for Christmas one year and got this entire set of little mini punches, and I have used very few of them. Hi, Barbie. Thank you for joining us. You are coming in on the tail end of what was a disaster, and we're kind of just we're making it work. We're not doing what we were talking about doing, but we are going to get a manicure done. So yeah, I don't know. Plus, I mean, YouTube has kind of screwed me over in certain senses. I mean, not really screwed me over, but also not supported me. So it's kind of like, if I'm going to expand what I'm doing, I don't feel like that's the place to do it. Just keep talking through the stream, it won't work out. This platform is way too many people. Yeah, well, and a lot of the changes that YouTube streaming keeps making, it's like, dude, are you trying to be like Twitch? Now you have, custom emotes. Now you have, live premieres. Like, Twitch has already had all that. Simon and Martina are the only ones I watch live on YouTube. I've never heard of them, Polished Soul. What do they do? 90% on gaming. Pro Twitch 1 million. Perfect. YouTube money is the only thing they care about. And too, on YouTube, I feel like, I mean, there are some, I've seen like breakdowns of how, revenue shares break down between the different options between the different sites. But one of the things that I think is so cool on Twitch being owned by Amazon and, with Prime and everything, is that if you have Amazon Prime, you can get Twitch Prime for free and get a free sub every month. And YouTube has the power to do that. I mean, they have, YouTube Premium. Why not have that come with a free channel subscription or membership or whatever you want to call it over there now? Yeah, and free games every month too. Yeah, YouTube, I mean, it's changed a lot. I mean, there are some things that haven't changed and some things that they are, legally limited in what they can do. But it's like they, one thing, the thing that really frustrates me about YouTube is their lack of communication. I actually contribute on the YouTube help forums. And one of the things that is really frustrating right now is there are a lot of people waiting around to be monetized under the new threshold requirements. And YouTube is consistently putting out either wrong or misleading information. Like, oh, application reviews normally take a week. Look, there are people that have been waiting since December. Obviously, it doesn't usually take more or take around a week. Or even if it does usually take a week, for these people that are waiting for months on end, like, that's not helpful to have sitting there on your page. And then you're like, well, why aren't I? And they don't give you any updates, and they don't, they don't share any information. But the thing with YouTube that has really led my channel to kind of stagnate, I think, would come down to two main things. And that is notifications, or rather lack of notifications, and video recommendations. Because if you're not getting like a lot of views, then you're not getting recommended very much. Guess what? If you're not getting recommended, you're getting less views, which leads to you getting recommended less, which leads to less views, which turns into basically like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, oh, well, this channel isn't getting any views, so we're not going to recommend them. Well, the channel isn't getting any views because you're not recommending them. I have a handful of old videos that still are getting decent recommendations, and some of those are getting more views on a daily basis than some of my new content because, people don't get notified properly. I don't know. there are a lot of issues. I always will love YouTube. Well, unless they really do something really fucked up. But, oh, thank you, Jackie. You know, but I can't, when I quit my office job to try and do YouTube full time, I had like these, you know, grand hopes of, oh, if I just put in the time and effort to my channel that I want to, then I can succeed. And that's not really the case, because to succeed on YouTube, you also need a good dose of just luck and, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, if you're recommended all over the place, you're going to get more views than somebody that's not recommended all over the place. That's just that simple. YouTube Red, so you don't have to put up with commercials. That's nice. I've considered it, but I've never actually gone for it. I mean, and that still supports the people that you're watching, Barbie, because part of the Red subscription goes to the creators. A Canadian couple who used to live in South Korea and now they live in Japan. Food videos. And a very positive community. That's cool. I feel like the community, especially in live situations, is a big part of the stream. You know, not all, but most of the channels on Twitch that I watch, it's not just or only because I enjoy the streamer, but it's because, you know, good positive communities. And I like to think that I'm growing that here on my channel also, because you guys are all so awesome to each other here and on Discord. Anybody new, if you're interested to join Discord, there's a link down in my profile section. You can also ! Discord in the chat to get a join link. And, you know, we've got people in there active every day, just chatting, sharing nail pictures, sharing animal pictures. It's really great. Yeah, the algorithm is just evil. You promise you know the difference between there and there. Well, that's good, because otherwise you would have to get out of my chat, because that's one of my pet peeves. I'm just kidding, obviously. Hopefully, obviously, but that is one of my pet peeves. There and there, and 2 with 2 O's versus 1 O's versus the number. My mom's pet peeve is people misusing less and fewer. Which appears to be getting more and more common. It's like people just using them interchangeably, and she's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. If you can count it, it should be fewer. If you can't count it, it should be less. And she'll go, less water, fewer fish. And I'm like, okay, Mom, but I'm not going to remember that the next time I'm in a situation where I need to choose between less or fewer, and I'm just going to feel stressed out and like I'm a disappointment to you if I pick the wrong one. There. Oops, sorry. Knocked into you guys. I think that's pretty good. We've got pretty opaque tips. What do you guys think? That's a comeback. A congressional hearing. Wow. Diamond and Silk. I don't know them either. So many. Well, of course, I know there's lots of people on Twitch, too. It's not like I'm super familiar with all the big people on Twitch either, but it's like so many YouTubers, like big YouTubers that I'm not familiar with. Put me on autoplay and watch all night. Aw. Yeah, 222. Oh, Loose and Lose. Yeah. That sometimes, that isn't a very easy one to be screwed over, like by your keyboard or by your autocorrect, I feel like. And I forget exactly where else I was going with this, other than Twitch seems to build, things to help you grow your community, and YouTube seems to build things to help grow YouTube. Which, I mean, okay, it is a business. This is understandable, but you're also kind of shooting yourself in the foot by almost preventing the growth of channels that could be very successful. You know, or stagnating the growth of channels that used to be very successful. I mean, my views, I'm producing content, more content and more steady content. Like, I don't think I've missed a Sunday upload in several months now, but compared to my views like a couple years ago, I'm getting like a quarter of the views that I used to get. And excuse me, when I look deeper into it, into the analytics, a huge amount of the drop is due to not showing up in recommended videos anymore. And people be like, oh, well, maybe, you know, your niche or your genre just isn't as popular anymore. And it's like, well, no, look around. There's plenty of nail art channels that are getting crap loads of views because they're getting the good recommendations, or because, like, YouTube has gone through a lot of changes. There was a point where when you subscribed to a channel, you were automatically signed up for email notifications. So if you got a bunch of subscribers during this period where email notifications were automatic, then you have a lot of people that probably just never bothered to turn off their notification, and now they get a notification every time you upload. And if you have a lot of old subscribers or subscribers that came after they changed that, then, you know, it's not a level playing field. Ah, older than me versus older than I am. Yeah, I bet you go crazy about that all the time. I'm sure I'm probably guilty of that on occasion, Barbie. I know I definitely have a few things that I say that are technically not proper English that are just like habit at this point. And some things I kind of try to catch myself on and change, and some things I'm just like, apparently that's just the way I talk now. Another one of the things that gets me that it doesn't bother me as much as it used to, probably just due to exposure because it's so common now, but is when people say whenever instead of just when. Like, those two words don't mean the same thing. And it seems to be very common. It's like, oh, whenever I went to the store yesterday. It's like, me, when you went to the store yesterday? I mean, whenever is like a vague, you know, whenever I get to it. Not something that happened at a particular time. That happened when. Okay. Not going to continue on our English language and words and vocabulary rant. You appreciate that I haven't changed my format or video substance. Thank you, Jackie. I have changed a little bit. You know, even my short form tutorials are longer than they used to be, but part of it is just kind of like an evolution of knowing what the hell I'm doing compared to like my first videos, which are so cringy. Like, when I go back and occasionally look at them, I'm literally like, but I would never remove them because, I mean, that's where it all started. But it's been, you know, somewhat in response to my personal preference and somewhat in response to, okay, if I constantly am getting a question about this, maybe I should start including that in the video so that people don't have to continue to ask that question. And of course, I mean, the live streaming is a whole different format, and I was really wondering how people would respond to it on YouTube, but I've gotten a lot of really positive comments of people who can't make it to the live stream or just, you know, aren't interested in the live format for whatever reason. One person said they don't like to watch live because they need to be able to pause and, you know, go to the bathroom or go make dinner or something. So they really like watching turquoise or blue to this, like make it like a more of a gemstone-y look. I think turquoise or blue would look nice, but I think I'm just going to leave it at this. I mean, it would have looked much cooler if these gold tips were this gold. But this is, I mean, this is close. This is close to what I was originally going for. C4, hello. We are, I did not intend to be on this long, to be honest with you, C4. We were, we were working with some foils, and you can kind of see, it might be easier to see from this side. We did not get clean transfers. We had all kinds of foily issues, and we gave up and got nail polish. At least you got to say hi. I'm glad you at least got to stop in. You didn't get a notification for this stream. So, a lot of times, now, like I was saying, Twitch is not perfect either. Just because I, prefer it over YouTube for live streaming, I'm not claiming Twitch is perfect either. It's got its own issues, and one of those issues is the notification system. Gotta go for now. Alright, Jackie, thank you for hanging out. Twitch notifications are kind of notoriously iffy. I mean, I don't get notifications for every channel that I follow, so for the handful of channels I do get notifications for, usually they come through, at least the email one is pretty reliable. The one I get on my phone is, reliable, and the actual one that, pops up on Twitch is very low on the reliability meter. And that's why I've gotten into the habit of always making sure that I tweet out when I start a stream, and also that I announce in Discord when I start a stream. I would also like to get a little bit more of a schedule during the week. Like today, I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to start stream. I started a little bit later than I wanted to, but I feel like when I have more, like Saturdays and Sundays, you guys know 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, so you can plan for that if you're so inclined, rather than, these more random streams where you're on the lookout for a notification. But yeah, if you are only relying on the Twitch notifications, you may want to follow me on Twitter if you're on Twitter, or keep an eye on the Discord. Let's get this top coat on here so we can wrap this up here. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. I'm not as happy as I would have been if they were foil, but I'm pretty happy with these. Finally, I'm going to finish off with the top coat, and as usual, I'm using Seche Vite. So, like I mentioned a little bit ago, usually Saturday's stream is nail art. Saturday's stream is usually either testing and or a tutorial for what's going to be uploaded to YouTube on Sunday. Which is, it's kind of cutting it close. It probably would be better if I could get in the habit of, doing something more midweek to upload to YouTube on Sunday, like I am right now, and then I'm not, in a rush. But this weekend, for those who haven't already heard me talk about it, is the 12-hour challenge. It's a community challenge to get people into speedrunning. And speedrunning is what actually introduced me to Twitch. So even before I started streaming, I was kind of interested in this 12-hour challenge thing. I was kind of like, I enjoy watching speedrunning. Maybe I would enjoy doing it myself. And so now, this 12-hour challenge, there's 2 a year, I think. Sometimes maybe more. At least 2 a year. They usually start after GDQ. This year, since I'm streaming, I was like, well, I should maybe do that. And what I did was I pulled out my old NES out of the closet. I made sure that it still works, which it did, but a lot of my carts required significant cleaning before they'd actually play. And I got myself a capture card that should work with my retro console. And the rest of today is going to be spent getting that capture card set up and making sure I know what I'm doing. Tomorrow's stream will be me attempting to beat Super Mario for the first time ever in my life. Because as a kid, that was way beyond my skill level. And then, as long as that does not go absolutely horribly, I'm going to be learning to speedrun Super Mario this weekend within 12 hours. The challenge is learn a new game, learn the speedrun of a new game, and submit that time to the leaderboards. And, yeah, I'm going to be doing probably a 6-hour stream on Saturday and a 6-hour stream on Sunday of learning to speedrun Super Mario. You follow me on Twitter now, Barbie? Cool. You think that's awesome, Miss Invisible? I'm glad. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how it's gonna go. As a kid, I did not know there was a button to make Mario run. I thought B button was only for shooting fireballs. So, like, this is really gonna be a learning experience for me. And when I, just gave it a try, like, just to make sure the cart worked, I didn't even get to the end of World 1-1. So tomorrow, I have no idea how long tomorrow's stream is going to be. It'll probably start around 8 in the evening, Central Time. And it's going to go until I beat the game, is the plan. And then we'll see. When I've been playing Hollow Knight recently, I feel like I do have some video game skill and I do have some capacity to learn, but actually learning, like, the speedrun techniques, that's going to be a different story. You're very much into retro streams and gaming. Cool, Miss Invisible. Yeah, I mean, that is really, every time somebody says something like that, I'm honestly kind of relieved, because I was like, just like on YouTube, where I was nervous to, upload these long live streams, even though I wanted to, archive them because Twitch doesn't keep them keep them for forever. And because so people that aren't on Twitch can watch. I was a little bit concerned, like, having multiple kinds of content on my Twitch channel, like nail art and gaming. And I've been, like, so pleased of how many people are like, that's actually a freaking awesome combination. So, yeah. Tomorrow, around 8, and then I'm thinking Saturday's stream will probably be at 2 o'clock, like usual, for 6-ish hours. And I'm thinking Sunday's stream may start a little bit earlier than my normal 6 o'clock. Oh, good, Miss Invisible. I'm glad. I have some other, like I said, the porch is, said they'd like to come hang out. If you wanna pop in on Discord too, I try to post updates there, and there's lots of fun channels. Everybody has been really awesome there. This is the end of this stream, and I'm pretty happy with it. Would have been happier with this, but I'm pretty happy with the final result. And mostly, I'm just, like, proud of myself for freaking not giving up, because for a minute there, I really did just want to, like, throw in the towel. It's so frustrating when something doesn't go according to plan. Nail art, makeup, and gaming. Cool. When do you think you're gonna, to start streaming? I mean, you just said in the fall, but I mean, my makeup skills are limited. I could do my brows, I could do some eyeliner, could do a little bit of, eyeshadow and stuff, but you get into foundation and, like, contouring and, like, anything at all complicated or something that's not, like, neutral, that's beyond my skill level. But I love watching makeup artists and stuff too. September. I'll have to go follow you so I can see when you go live. That, and speaking of that, I don't know if I want to say a lot, but there's a handful of makeup artists that are also streaming on Twitch now. So, those that I know from YouTube. So I'm obviously not the only one that thought Twitch was a better place to expand my content than YouTube. Made You Look, if you're familiar with her, is on here. Jordan Hans is on here. And I'm sure there are some other ones too, like makeup artists and body painters and like a lot of other really cool stuff in the creative community that I've come across. I mean, I was introduced to Twitch due to gaming, but it's been really fun to check out some of the other stuff that's on here. It's a lady I follow that does resin keycaps. I found a really awesome sculptor the other day. Oh, you're already in the Discord. Cool. I actually, it's kind of awesome. It's like I have so many people in the Discord now, I've lost track of who is and isn't in there. So I feel like that's kind of a win, because at first I was like, well, I don't know. Should I set up a Discord or not? And everybody was like, yes, do a Discord. So, oh, did you enjoy MC4? Good. They're creepy in all the best ways. And I don't know, it must be kind of a weird time. What is it? Wednesday, late afternoon, early evening. So I don't see like any really of my creative people that I follow on. Well, Megan is on, but she's not doing creative. She's doing Detroit. So I'm actually going to send you guys to where I am about to go for the rest of my evening. Well, not the complete rest of my evening, but till he's done streaming. I thought I was going to get here over to watch a little bit early. Gonna send you guys over to Jerry. He's in the end game of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, doing some questing, it looks like. And thank you all so much for watching, so much for hanging out, so much for being my cheerleaders. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I hope I'll see you next time.